world's most expensive cars are not designed to sell in large numbers. They are designed to exclude. A limited edition hypercar is not primarily a vehicle. It is a psychological instrument, a mechanism for signaling status, access, and proximity to power. And the fewer people who can own one, the more valuable it becomes to those who already can. By the end of this film, you will understand why manufacturers deliberately restrict production, why buyers compete for the right to spend millions, and how limited hypercars function less as transportation and more as tools of elite positioning. This is not about engineering, it is about control, and the psychology of scarcity at the highest level of wealth. Modern hypercars exist in a category beyond traditional luxury automobiles. They are priced from $2 to $10 million. Production volumes often range from 10 to 100 units, sometimes fewer. Manufacturers such as Bugatti, Ferrari, and Pagani operate in a space where engineering excellence is assumed. Performance metrics alone do not justify the price. Many cars can achieve similar speeds. What distinguishes hypercars is narrative, ownership story, access control. The vehicle becomes a social artifact, a membership token in a rarefied ecosystem. And the smaller the production run, the stronger that signal becomes. Scarcity in hypercars is rarely a constraint, it is a decision. Manufacturers possess the technical capability to produce more units. They choose not to. Limitation creates perceived rarity. Perceived rarity creates urgency. Urgency justifies price escalation, but more importantly, it creates hierarchy among buyers. When production is capped at 30 units, the question is no longer whether someone can afford the car. It becomes whether they deserve allocation. This shift is strategic. Luxury at the highest level depends on controlled supply. If too many exist, exclusivity collapses. If too few exist, desire intensifies. Manufacturers carefully calibrate this balance. Limited editions also serve another purpose. They reset brand perception. A halo hypercar can elevate the perceived value of every other product in the lineup. Even entry-level models benefit from association with extreme engineering and price points. The hypercar becomes a symbolic anchor, not a revenue engine, a positioning instrument. At this level, wealth alone is insufficient. Allocation decisions often involve private invitations, long-term brand relationships, prior purchase history, personal reputation. Manufacturers quietly evaluate potential buyers. Collectors with multiple vehicles from the brand are prioritized. Public figures who enhance brand visibility may receive preference. Some applicants are rejected, even with sufficient funds. This reverses the traditional buyer-seller relationship. The customer is no longer selecting the product. The manufacturer is selecting the customer. Psychologically, this is powerful. Scarcity combined with rejection risk activates competitive instincts. Buyers feel chosen, validated, elevated above peers. Ownership signals not only financial capacity, but also insider status. It communicates proximity to elite networks. In extreme cases, buyers must agree to ownership conditions, restrictions on resale timelines, maintenance requirements, factory servicing obligations. These controls protect brand perception, but they also reinforce hierarchy. The owner does not possess complete autonomy. They participate in a curated ecosystem, which paradoxically increases perceived value.
From a pure business perspective, limited hypercars rarely generate significant profit relative to development cost. Research, engineering, materials, and certification expenses are immense. Carbon fiber monocoques, custom powertrains, advanced aerodynamics, bespoke interiors. The margin on each unit can be modest. So why produce them? Because hypercars function as long-term brand investments. They attract media attention without traditional advertising. They reinforce technological leadership narratives. They stimulate demand across the entire product portfolio. More importantly, they cultivate relationships with ultra-high net worth individuals. These relationships extend beyond vehicles, private events, factory tours, exclusive driving experiences, future allocations. The manufacturer builds loyalty within a concentrated group of elite clients. Over time, this network becomes an asset, a community of ambassadors with significant purchasing power. There is also secondary market behavior. Limited hypercars often appreciate in value. Not always, but frequently enough to reinforce perception of financial wisdom. Buyers begin to view purchases as asset acquisition rather than consumption. This reframing reduces psychological friction around price. Spending $5 million feels different when the object may appreciate, even if appreciation is uncertain. Perception drives behavior more than reality. The deeper psychological function of limited hypercars is separation. Extreme wealth creates a problem. When many people become rich, traditional luxury signals weaken. Private jets become more common. Designer brands become widely accessible. Luxury hotels become democratized. For the ultra-wealthy, distinction requires new layers. Limited hypercars provide that layer. They are difficult to obtain, difficult to maintain, difficult to store. They demand infrastructure, climate-controlled garages, specialized technicians, insurance complexity, transport logistics. These barriers create insulation. Ownership becomes a marker not just of wealth, but of operational capability. It signals that the owner exists in an environment where such complexity is normal. There is also an identity component. Collectors often describe emotional attachment to rarity. Knowing only a few others possess the same object creates a sense of belonging to a micro-elite, a tribe defined by access, not geography, not nationality, access. This exclusivity activates status reinforcement loops. Each new acquisition confirms personal rank within a hierarchy of wealth, which encourages further acquisitions. Manufacturers understand this psychology. They design experiences around anticipation, private unveilings, confidential previews, invitation-only events. The purchase journey becomes ritualized. Ritual increases perceived significance, and perceived significance justifies price. The car itself becomes secondary. What matters is what ownership communicates. Limited edition hypercars are not disappearing. They are multiplying. More brands are entering the space. Production runs are shrinking. Prices are climbing, and access is becoming more restricted. This suggests something larger. Extreme luxury is moving away from objects toward controlled ecosystems. Ownership is becoming less about possession and more about participation in exclusive networks. The hypercar may simply be the visible surface, a physical symbol of a deeper economic shift, where the highest form of wealth signaling is not what you own, but what you are allowed to access and who decides.